Fans of Southern Charm and Summer House are at a crossroads when it comes to the Paige DeSorbo and Conover breakup. A lot of people do not know which side to choose. There has been a lot to come out since they broke up. However, there are always two sides to a story. This is where fans do not know where to stand. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Paige DeSorbo and Conover were together for about 3 years. However, Paige ended things with Craig. Fans thought the relationship was going well. That was until new episodes of Summer House aired, and the signs are all there. Craig has admitted that he was in love with the potential of what they could be, not with what they were at the moment. This has been hard on Craig. However, he is out in the dating world again with a new girlfriend. Paige has been focusing on her career and completely cut Craig out of her life. So there are obviously two sides you could take here. However, choosing which side has become difficult for fans. Fans are at a crossroads when it comes to choosing a side after the breakup. Most felt bad for Craig at first because he wanted their future to become a reality so badly. However, after watching more, they think the signs were there and Craig should have known this was coming. I'm embarrassed to admit, but when news first came out of Craig and Paige's breakup, I couldn't help to be more sympathetic and low-key upset with Paige, as neutral as I attempted to be. I definitely supported Paige in her decision, and as a 43-year-old, I am all too familiar with how much you can evolve as a person. Also, I have noticed since last season that Paige isn't the nicest to Craig, and it made me feel sorry for him. However, as time has gone on, Craig has become the most annoying person on Southern Charm this season in my opinion. I know he's always had a bad rep regarding his temper tantrums and lying, but I found them funny in comparison to the rest of the men on that show. He created his own fantasy version of the relationship when it was literally all in front of him. So glad to find a post that isn't full of Paige haters. Those older women on Facebook are constantly coming for her and never see her side of things. Been fighting for my life trying to defend her. I think she kept voicing her opinions and where she was in life in terms of big decisions like moving in and marriage and kids, and he heard what he wanted. She would say, "Yes, I do on all that at some point," but he thought that meant within a year, or he thought he could have her see his life and how good he had it, and that would push her to want that. While people may not totally be on Craig's side, they do see that he wanted their future to work badly. It seems as though there is a good amount of fans on both sides. Some think Paige was in the wrong, while others think it was entirely Craig's. Really, it comes down to the person and what they chooses to believe. There is a lot of he said, she said going on right now with little to no proof, which makes it hard for people to know who is telling the truth. What do you think about this situation? The world of reality television is no stranger to drama, but when it comes to the breakup of Paige DeSorbo and Conover, the fanbase is at a standstill. Viewers who have followed their relationship on Summer House and Southern Charm for the past few years now find themselves torn between two passionate sides. Some rally behind Craig, while others show unwavering support for Paige. This is a situation where no one feels completely right or wrong, and it seems like everyone has an opinion. But the question remains, who's really at fault? To understand the split, we must look back at the relationship that seemed so promising. Paige DeSorbo, a key figure on Summer House, and Conover, the charming and at times unpredictable star of Southern Charm, were together for about 3 years. Their relationship, which appeared to be going smoothly, suddenly hit a bump when Paige ended things. For those who tuned in to the latest seasons, the cracks in their romance were becoming increasingly evident. The timing of the breakup, however, left fans stunned, as many assumed that Paige and Craig had found their rhythm. It wasn't until new episodes aired that the underlying issues became more apparent. Craig himself admitted that while he loved Paige, he was in love with the idea of what they could become rather than who they were in the present moment. This admission laid bare a deeper layer of their relationship. one built not just on love, but on expectations and unspoken desires for the future. Paige's decision to cut ties with Craig after the breakup seemed to be an act of self-preservation. She was focused on her career and, perhaps, on a life outside of Craig's expectations. For her, it was about moving on and finding a sense of balance.